What's up, guys? In today's video, we are going to be discussing whether or not PulseChain and PulseX will do a 10,000x 2 years after launch. The reason why everyone's calling for the 10,000x after 2 years is because that's exactly what Hex did. From bottom to top, within the first 2 years of launch, Hex did a 10,000x, which means if you put $1 into Hex, you'd have $10,000, which is absolutely insane. So the first thing that we have to know is that PulseChain and PulseX are not Hex, right? They're completely different products. They're targeting different niches, different product market fit, and the game theory is different. Another thing is that the first 2 years of Hex will not be the same as the first 2 years of PulseChain, for better or worse, because market conditions are different as well, and market conditions obviously affect the price of crypto. However, there are things that we can know, right? The most important thing is that good products generally go up over time. And PulseChain and PulseX are very good products. When they launch, I'm going to be DCAing, no question about it. The second thing is that what determines the price? We know it's supply and demand. It always comes down to supply and demand. So when Hex launched, how many wallets were there? Well, if you look at Hex Daily Stats, shout out to them, excellent website. During Hex's first day of launch, they had 6,591 wallets. 6,591. So what about Pulse? Okay. So according to Pulse Lead, there were 41,810 wallets that participated in the sacrifice, which means that 41,810 wallets will be holding Pulse when it launches. What about PulseX? Well, according to PulseXLead.com, there were 136,174 wallets that participated in the PulseX sacrifice. So what does this mean in regard to the price? Well, more wallets means more potential sell pressure, which pushes the price down. So within the first 2 years, every time the price has a run-up, there will be likely considerably more people cashing out, which is something that Hex had less of when they had their first 2 years of launch because they had less people that were in the beginning. Another thing, furthermore, what are people doing when they buy Hex? They're locking it up for on average 6.5 years, which also creates less supply and more demand because we know what happens to the token. They get locked up and they get burnt and they get minted once the stake comes up. Average stake is 6.5 years. So that's less pressure. Will people be locking up their Pulse and PulseX for set periods of time? No, not that I know of. Another thing is that at the time of Hex's launch, the only Richard Heart product you could have bought was Hex, right? So all the capital that came into the Richard Heart ecosystem went straight into Hex. This is not the case with PulseChain and PulseX. When PulseChain and PulseX launches, there could be up to 5 tokens in the Richard Heart ecosystem that were created by him himself. And that's eHex, you have pHex, you have Pulse, PulseX, and you have his wallet token. Now you might be saying, but Richard Heart's going viral. He was on Jordan Belfort's Wolf of Wall Street podcast. He was on Rolla Tomasi. He was on Fox Business. He was on the Fresh and Fit yesterday, which was an excellent interview. He did amazing. And more people are being onboarded. So while, yes, there might be more selling pressure, there are going to be more people onboarded. And that may be true, but I still don't think that it's enough that we're going to have a 10,000x run up in 2 years. Okay. So while it's possible, we should not be expecting it because we should know that a 500 and 1,000x is something that's very plausible with these assets. It's likely going to happen, in my opinion, not financial advice. And those gains will be life-changing. Even if you didn't put in tons of money, like $20,000, $30,000, you will have life-changing wealth with a 500 or 1,000x. And within 6 years, forget about it. You could easily do 10,000, easily. So to summarize, will PulseChain and PulseX do a 10,000x in the first 2 years? Unlikely. But obviously, we don't know. Will the returns be astronomical, though? Absolutely, in my opinion. Not financial advice, and do your own research. But at the end of the day, I think that the assets in the Richard Heart ecosystem are likely to outperform any other assets, any other store of values or speculative instruments. And what do we know about markets? that good products do well over long periods of time. It's not that complicated. Good products do well over long periods of time. And PulseChain, PulseX, and Hex are excellent products. They have product market fit. They have a community. They have people committed to not selling it. And the community understands the importance of onboarding new users into that ecosystem. So the best thing you can do is do your research and find those products that are going to give you those astronomical returns and just dollar cost average, because nobody knows what the price is going to be in the short term. But we do know that in general, good products do well over long periods of time, and good cryptos outperform good equities or real estate by orders of magnitude. So you want to find those good cryptos and you want a dollar cost average over time, and your wealth will be life-changing. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Leave a comment. This lets me know that what I'm doing is meaningful and I should come out with more. Till then, have a great day.